Hello and welcome, merry listeners. Here we are for another episode of An Unorthodox CEO. I am Steve Pickering, CEO of Sussex Beds, and today we are joined by Oliver Towner.
Hello.
Woo! Hello,
Thank you
Oliver.
very much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's not every day, do we? Speak to someone who's not been in the family business for 150 years, but a family business stretching back 150 years.
Yeah, last year.
That is lastability. I don't even know if that's a word, but it sounds good.
Yeah, no pressure.
No, oh my goodness, 150 years. That's incredible. And I'm thrilled to have Oliver here from Arthur C. Towner Limited, a funeral directors based in the heart of Hastings. St Leonard's, which we've just speaking as we come in, and it's really quite awkward because normally you say, how's business? And how do you say how's business to a funeral director? Because if they turn around and go, yeah, it's really good, it's like, oh, that's sad.
Yeah, you've got to be pretty delicate with it at times. Yeah, it's hard.
So welcome, Oliver.
Thank you.
Before we go any further, it says on my notes here to reach out and say, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any future episodes. No, and it's building.
It is.
I know. Our subscribers, we're just a micro influencer now, but one day we will drop that micro.
We will just be an influencer.
And become an influencer.
Hey, any influence is influence, so there you
go. So true.
Brilliant, fantastic. So let's have a chat. I suppose really, what's it like growing up in a family business from your side of things? Do you remember much as a young guy?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a blessing and a curse, really. I think the blessing is that you kind of end up with the freedom to almost go and try other things. You get the opportunity to go and fail, which a lot of people don't in life.
No.
So that is a blessing in a way. And in a curse, there's always this sneaking thought in the back of your head that I'm never going to get away from this.
No.
This is going to be what I end up doing. No matter what I try and do, this is what I'm going to end up doing.
So you always imagined yourself working in the family business?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No. Just so my dad always had a joke that he liked to tell, which was he always thought it was going to be the last job he would ever do.
Yeah.
And ironically, it was the last job he ever did.
Yeah.
And I grew up saying it's going to be the last job I ever do. I'm going to do everything else before I do this.
Yes.
And before you know it, here I am.
There you are.
It's funny how it sort of comes and goes, swings and roundabouts. I tried to get away from it as much as I could, but in the end, I've fallen into it and love it.
Yeah,
absolutely love it.
So you did go off and do your own thing? Yeah.
So I had a bit of a rough time at school. I wanted to be an army medic. I got diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic at 16, and so the scholarship people were like, No, we won't take you. Sorry about that. Oh. So I spent my A-levels going, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life.
Yeah.
Finished my A-levels, spent 2 years as gap years, spent 6 months working at the family business, and then 6 months sort of in Australia coaching rugby, which was amazing.
Wow.
Then came back, did another year at the family business while applying for drama school, then somehow got in.
Yeah.
Did a 3-year BA honours in acting in London, and then spent 4 years working as a professional actor in London, which was amazing. It's when you're doing it, it's the best job in the world. It's when you're not doing it, that's the problem.
The tough bit.
And then I got to 27 and went, this is fun, but I don't find it particularly meaningful.
No.
And also you get to that age where you're like, a salary would be kind of nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Sort of want to maybe buy a house at some point and maybe get married. And I'd met my now wife then as well.
Yeah.
And Dad was sort of looking to fully retire, and I went, do a couple of days a week, see how I get on, and just fell in love with it, fell in love with the team there, and it's just sort of been a whirlwind since then, really.
Yeah. So I'm interested, when you say actor, was that on stage or television?
A bit of both.
Was it?
Yeah, I managed to get away with only doing the one season of Panto, which was an incredible experience.
No, it wasn't.
Don't. My soul dies every time I hear that, honestly. Honestly, it was so much fun. And I mean, getting to go and do performances in really high, like special educational needs schools,
Yeah.
was just such a humbling experience. It was incredible. It really was.
Yeah.
And those sorts of experiences will never leave you. And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Getting to do Cinderella, oh, it's brilliant. Parts of it were really difficult, 2 shows a day kind of thing, 6 days a week. It was knackering.
Yes.
But no, it was amazing.
But as you say, it's a job which is brilliant when you've got work,
Yeah.
but it's searching for the next.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
really
a tough industry.
Yeah, and you know
really
what?
tough,
I've got a load of friends still that are in it and doing it, and I've got so much respect for
Yeah.
people that tough it out and do it, because
Absolutely.
yeah, it can be really rough.
Yeah, yeah. So back into the family
Yep.
business. Do you remember your first day on a funeral, or
Yeah.
what's your thoughts back? Because it's something we don't really talk about, isn't it? I mean, funerals are
No, no one talks about funerals.
Yeah,
No.
talk about funerals. But do you remember growing up around?
Yeah, I mean, Dad was really open about it. He never hid anything from us.
No.
There would be occasions whereby he would leave work early to come and pick us up from school
Yeah.
at 3:30 or whatever.
Yeah,
And he might have just nipped up to the crematorium to collect some ashes.
Yeah.
And so he'd sort of pick us up with a set of ashes in the back of the car, and he'd turn around and say, "We're not alone." And things like that, the odd joke that he used to have with us. And then we'd always sort of go back to the office for the last hour of the day. It's things like that, I think it's having a sense of humour without imposing on anyone's dignity is, I think, really important in what we do.
yeah,
It can be so easy to sort of have a laugh and a joke at someone's expense,
Yes.
which isn't all right.
No.
But it is important for us to find a bit of humour every now and again. We're not all these sort of vampires wearing black, lurking in the dark constantly that you sort of think of when you think of an undertaker. But
Yes.
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
So what is the job day to day? How does it work?
It's really varied.
Yes.
We're fortunate. I mean, as you sort of alluded to, we're 151 years now we've been going, which is just crazy to think about. It really is.
Yeah.
And so over that time, we've been fortunate enough through a lot of hard work, not by me, because I've only just sort of turned up in the grand scheme of things, but by Dad and sort of his dad and his dad and his dad and his dad, to build the reputation that hopefully people locally would have heard of and sort of associate with doing a good job, really, and being dependable.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of at this point where we're not a particularly quiet business. It's
No.
obviously the opposite,
Yeah.
which, as you alluded to, can be a sad thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I mean, a day is pretty full on. It's pretty packed, and it kind of ranges throughout the business as to what job you do. If you're front of house, that'll be answering the phones, dealing with administrative duties, seeing families when they walk in to talk to someone. If you're one of the operatives, it could be sort of doing the clinical preparation side of things and actually physically caring for the deceased.
Yeah.
It could be putting the coffins together or sort of ferrying coffins between our branches, to attending funerals, driving the ceremonial vehicles, that kind of thing. Or if you're a funeral director, it could be meeting families, actually arranging the funeral, sort of phoning ministers and the crematorium and putting everything together, to obviously then attending the funeral on the day and making sure everything is right.
Yeah.
And we've got other members of staff. We've got Fiona, who's our accounts lady, bless her, she's fantastic. We've got Harish, who's our health and safety chap. We've got Yaz, who's HR. So we've got sort of these extra people that help out with a lot more of the kind of the people-based tasks or the business-based tasks, which has been sort of really good over the last couple of years to introduce to the business.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about funerals and funeral directors?
I think at the moment we can get a bit of a bad rap in the media.
Right.
And I think for good reason at times, because there are people out there that are kind of taking the mickey with how they do things.
Right, yeah.
I mean, last year we had the situation in Hull, legacy funeral directors in Hull, which was just awful.
Yeah.
Sort of people not being cared for properly and things like that. And I think, the way we approach our business is that every family that comes into us is treated, and it sounds a bit cliche, but treated as if they're part of the family.
Yeah.
And every funeral we do, Dad has always said, I always say, it's the last funeral we're ever going to do. So it's the most important one.
Yeah.
And it's the same ethos for every single family we care for.
Wow.
And we're not perfect, we're not infallible, people make mistakes,
Yep.
we make mistakes. And I think the one thing that I hope comes across if and when we do make a mistake is that we genuinely care about putting it right.
Yeah.
We're not fortunate enough to get a second chance at a funeral. You can't really do it again. So it is a lot of pressure. It's really high stakes on the day. And we all take it very personally if and when something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's fascinating, isn't it? A different, it's so different from everyone else. Now, one thing that is a connection, I mean, obviously furniture,
Yeah.
and a lot of funeral directors are linked to furniture
Yeah,
retail,
yeah,
isn't it?
sure.
And it's interesting when we chatted before.
Yeah.
And that connection goes back many, many years.
Yep.
When it was, you were building boxes,
Yep.
and then it sort of linked to building items of furniture.
Yeah.
Did you have a furniture side as well? At one
Yeah, we
point?
did. So
Yeah.
the first, Thomas Towner was the first of us to come down with the Burtons, the architects, to help build St Leonard's. So,
Yeah.
kind of my family have been here since the beginning, really. And his son, Frederick Edward, was a builder by trade.
Yeah.
And he sort of learned a lot from his father, Thomas, about how to build certain things. And it was very apparent at the time that we were kind of the only people that knew how to make a coffin
Yeah.
in town. So we ended up with everything, really. We had a furniture shop, upholsterers, painters, decorators, movers, stonemasons, undertakers, all of it.
Yeah.
And that was the case until it was about 50 years ago when Dad took over the business, maybe just after that, a little bit later than that. And Dad had a really rough time when he took over the business, sort of went through the accounts and realised that actually the funeral side of the business was the only side that wasn't in the red.
Really?
So he had to make a horrible decision. He'd just lost his mum, just taken over a business. I think he was in his late 20s at the time, and had to let about 30, 40 people go. And this was sort of 70s, 80s kind of time.
Yeah,
A lot of respect to him for doing that. It can't have been easy, and those poor people as well. But it was at that point that we became undertakers and stonemasons only.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you still make the coffins today, or do you?
No, so
No.
it's not particularly common for people to. I'm sure there are people out there that still do.
Yeah.
There are a couple of supplies that we use with coffins, but one thing that we do still do, so when we get a coffin sent to us, the common practice these days is that you buy a coffin from a supplier and it comes kind of ready dressed, so with all the frills and pillow and everything in it already.
Yeah.
But we have a lady called Pauline. Pauline's been with us for 38 years,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
We're pretty confident she was one of the first female operatives in the UK, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And she still is with us, and she puts all the coffins together. So they come to us as the shell,
Yeah.
but we make a point of dressing kind of the internal bit of the coffin by hand still. So Pauline does all of that by hand, kind of tacks, hammers, all that kind of stuff, rather than machines or anything like that. So, we like to think we're forward thinking and try and do things in a modern way, but with the tradition, I like to think where it matters.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, and I guess really we're talking about your journey. So from acting and then about coming back into the business. So did you have any... do you see yourself as someone that's worked in the business and come through and understands all the elements, and then you've taken up a position as MD? Or did you have, I guess, training to be an MD outside the business?
Great question.
Yeah.
Did I have training to be an MD outside of the business? No.
No.
Not in the slightest.
No.
At some point, I have done pretty much every job at the company.
Yeah.
Whether that be an operative, funeral director, front of house, health and safety, HR, accounts, you name it. Even if it was for a couple of months, I've done it at some point. Funerals as an industry have changed a lot, kind of over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And so I would hate to think that I'm still at the cutting edge of the knowledge in those fields. And so when I took over the business, I have always been very open with everyone at the firm, with my team, that I'm not the expert. I'm not the subject matter expert.
No.
I need people around me as part of the senior leadership team at the firm who are the subject matter experts, and they know what we need to be doing. My job really at the business now as MD is not necessarily to be involved with the minutiae of the day-to-day operations. Obviously I am when I need to be.
Yep.
But it's more sort of having that big picture thinking and being able to sort of assess everything from every angle and work out, right, what are we going to do about this in relation to where funerals are going, where the business is going, where things like the Employment Rights Act are coming in now. There's so much that's changing in terms of being an employer at the moment.
Yes.
That when I took over, Dad and I sat down and had a conversation, and there was still at the time, the old guard that worked with Dad was still there and couldn't understand me not wanting to take funerals out.
No.
They thought, there's a Towner at the business, Towner needs to take a funeral out every now and again. And I don't disagree, but the business is busy enough now that it doesn't need me doing funerals.
No.
It needs me running the business.
No.
And it wouldn't be fair to sort of families, if I was looking after them, to say, I know you'd really like your funeral 2 weeks on a Wednesday, but actually I've got a meeting with the bank manager or something that day, so I won't be able to be there. It doesn't sit well with me.
No.
So yeah, my role is incredibly varied day to day, but it is mainly now running the business.
Yeah.
And trusting the team that I've got around me to know what's going on, to keep in touch with things day to day, and to make sure that we have the opportunity to sit down as a team and go through things and come to sort of decisions together on things and not dictate to people how things should be.
It's interesting you say about that transition. Obviously,
Yeah.
it being in the family business, and my father and everybody, he was up there on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And that transition to the next generation.
How many times after you took over the business did you hear the phrase, "Oh, it's not how it used to be"?
Oh, yeah, it used to be. Yeah. Oh, it's so different today. It's lost its family.
Kind of the point.
Yeah.
Kind of the point sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Are we back in the room?
Yes.
Yes, we're back in the room.
It's okay, we'll have to start the whole thing again. Yeah, well, I'll leave a card for you.
Yeah. So picking up, that transition.
Yeah.
I've been through that,
Yeah.
and I guess my son's involved. We saw him out there, and I think he goes through that too. And I never really thought about it until he said, I can't remember, some sort of interview, and he said about how he, admired me, and I had that same, and I never expected to hear that from my son, because you never think of yourself as this, as really the top dog. I still think as dad.
Yeah, you don't.
No,
you really don't.
So how did you transition through? Did you find that fairly easy, or was it quite a difficult transition?
I think it was really difficult.
Yeah.
Dad, I love my dad. I've got so much respect for him.
Yeah.
He was, and still is, an incredibly inspirational human being.
Yeah.
And the number of times quite early on when I had taken over the mantle properly from Dad, that I had people that were kind of connected to the business, maybe celebrants, things like that, telling me how big a set of shoes I had to fill. And I know.
Yeah.
I know I have, because that's exactly how I see my dad as well.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest compliment I've ever been paid by someone that works with me was, my dad and I are very, very different people. And what they said basically was that we're very different people. We come at things from completely the opposite end of the spectrum, but our hearts are in the same place, and the same things matter to us.
Yeah.
And I thought that I couldn't ask for anything more than that, because that's someone in my team understanding what I'm trying to do, that I'm not just trying to change things for the sake of it, that it comes from a place of wanting to provide the very best that we possibly can, and making a nice environment for the people that work with me to work in day to day. But the transition itself, I mean, you're always going to get a couple of people that are very resistant to change and maybe don't like it. And a couple of situations that maybe make it a bit more difficult than it needs to be. But I think over the last 5 years this year, I've been MD. I've been back at the firm about 7-8 years now. And I've learned so much.
5 years ago.
So yeah, since I took over as MD, 5 years this year.
So that was COVID?
Yeah. Just before. It's just before COVID. It was just before Brexit. It was just before we had any kind of regulation coming in. And if I'd known that now, if I'd known back then what I know now, I'd have probably negotiated a bit better, I think. Yeah. But COVID for funeral directors must have been extremely difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the kind of person to sit here and sort of poor woe is me type thing. You know, COVID was just awful for everybody. It really was. My wife's a paramedic, and there were a couple of times during COVID where she would sort of turn around and go, "We've got it easy in comparison to you guys. It's you know, they're getting PPE, they're getting the vaccines, they're getting this, that, and the other, they're getting the support. You know, we were still expected to go into care homes. We were still expected to be at work." Doing what we could day in, day out. You know, we weren't included on the vaccine list. I had a 3-month argument with the CCG to say, look, we need to be on the vaccine list. You're still expecting us to go into care homes. I mean, come on, surely we need to be protected so we can protect people. You know, and I think one of the things that you know, because we are here to sort of talk about business in a way, so I'm happy to give a bit of an insight. But one of the comments we got a lot after COVID was, I bet you guys did really, really well.
Yeah.
Of course we didn't.
No.
You know, everyone thinks loads of people dying. You know, we did really, really well out of it. But the way that we structure our pricing, I like to think is very fair for people, and that you don't pay for something that you're not having. And so we own, we kind of don't have any overheads as a business. So we own our buildings, we own our vehicles, that kind of thing. So it means that when we provide a hearse or a limousine, which actually I would argue we're probably one of the most affordable around at the moment to be able to do that actually those costs are pretty much where we make our profit on a funeral, really. And so during COVID, when people weren't allowed to have limousines and things like that, actually
it was just the bare...
It was just the sort of bare bones, really, which is probably a poor choice of words. But yeah, so it wasn't like we were raking it in or anything like that at all. No. You know, we were busier than ever. I had a member of staff that ended up staying in the office for 3 days, didn't go home, which I only found out about a year ago, I think it was, which, if I'd known about at the time, not okay. No. Shows that something isn't working. But I am in awe of the people that we still have and the people that were with us at that time, and will be forever thankful for the work that they did. Because at one point we were about 2 weeks away, I think it was, in the UK from having the army come in and take over funeral directors. And I don't think people realise that, I mean, an average... So we have space for 72 people in our care at any one time. And that's sort of an imposed rule by us internally, to be able to provide the highest sort of standard of care to everyone. And the amount of pressure we were put under during COVID, we ended up, I think at the height of COVID, we had something like 180 people in our care.
Almost a double.
Yeah, which was terrifying. But, you know, we had to do what we could. We had to work with people locally to sort of make sure that people are still being cared for in the most respectful way that we can. But at the same time, at the end of the day, that the amount of pressure that was put on us to just get funerals done, because it's sort of this whole dark side of the COVID problem in terms of the amount of people that were dying that we just don't talk about, which surprises me. Really, because there are so many lessons to be learned, but we're not invited to the sort of the COVID-19 inquiry anymore in any way, which is shocking. So there's all these lessons that we need to learn that we're not going to.
And something like this will happen again.
Oh yeah. Sadly it will.
And unfortunately, I think that's the case, isn't it? We don't learn from things.
No, we don't.
Just that's done, it's dusted, let's move on. And
got away with that one.
And that's it. It won't be our problem in the future.
No, exactly.
But was that the hardest point of your time, or has there been even more challenges since?
I think it has been. In terms of an external factor making things more difficult, yes, absolutely, that was number one. We've had a kind of a couple of periods over the last few years whereby smaller things have all added up at the same time, which has made it difficult. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 occasions over the last 7, 8 years, I've considered selling the business, and going, I don't think I can do this.
Had enough.
But it's thanks to my wife Lucy, the number of times that I've come home and been in tears, and she said, if it's that bad, let's go and talk to your dad. And she's pushed me in the car and taken me over, and I've sat there, and first of all, what are you crying for? Come on, put yourself together, it's not that bad. And then I'll talk to him about it, and he'll go, okay, maybe maybe it is that bad. Okay, let's maybe talk about what we're going to do about this. but yeah, you know, I think it's all about the people you have around with you at the end of the day, whether that's in your personal life or at work. If you've got the right people around you, it doesn't kind of matter where that tenacity and sticking power comes from. What matters is you've got it.
'Cause it can be a lonely place, MD,
Yep.
CEO.
Absolutely. Yeah, it can be.
When, you know, chips are down and everybody's looking to you.
Yep.
And, you know, the same fears in everybody else are
Yep.
in you, but it's very difficult to show, because if you show anything, it will breed panic, fear throughout the rest of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your, I suppose, your release from those pressures?
I'm a huge gamer, which is my first one.
Oh.
I spend a lot of time on my computer at home.
Yeah.
So we're expecting our first child in about a month.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, not to make it any more difficult, but that I think is my release at the moment. I think being able to be at home with Lou and our dog Crumble, and sort of just it puts everything. The thing I'm learning is it's putting everything into context and perspective of like, oh yeah, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's made
Purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of made it easier to get through and cling on, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't do any acting now?
I don't have time.
No.
And the sheer anxiety I have, I think I've thought about it once or twice,
Yeah.
and I'll wake up in literal anxiety dreams of forgetting lines on stage, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I do that every time.
The problem is I used to as
Okay.
well, I think.
Yeah. So young one on its way. That's going
Yeah.
to change life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting though.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah, we're having a boy as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think we had a preference. I think maybe secretly we were kind of like,
Yeah.
it would be quite nice to have a boy and it'd be the seventh generation.
Yeah.
But even if it was a girl, it'd be the seventh generation. I would have been totally fine with either. I always thought my sister was going to take over the business, and here I am running the business. It's crazy.
Is your sister still involved?
Not in the slightest.
No,
Not in the
nothing to do with it.
No, she's
Yeah.
got a proper job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what makes me laugh is you said, I've got a boy coming. I still can't get used to it. When I had my children, 20... Well, Josh is 30 this year.
Wow.
Yeah. He's going to hate me now for saying.
So what, when you had him, you were what, 12, 13?
Well, yes. Well, you see my wedding photo, actually. I do look like I'm 12. Paul hates it. There's none of them around. But you never found out. It was just they come out, it's like, oh, it's a boy. And I remember when Grace was born, I'm waffling now. I remember when Grace was born, all the birth and it all come out, and it was probably, it felt like 5 minutes later I went, oh, what is it? But yeah, it just, that's so exciting. And,
Yeah.
that's a great thing to escape with. And so there's no other family members involved in the business?
No, not at all. I mean, Mum and Dad are still company directors, but
yes,
you know, that's sort of formality really more than anything. And I think I maybe for a little while kind of not resented them for it, but kind of felt like, come on guys, your names are on the paper as well. Where are you? And I need some help. Yeah. But actually, I think I've spoken to Dad about it a couple of times, and it has taken me some time to sort of come to terms with it, but it's because he trusts what I'm doing, which is still a bit weird to think about. Yeah. And so he sort of says, you know, if you need me, I'm here, but otherwise you don't need me breathing down your neck every 5 minutes. No. I mean, he enthusiastically retired. This isn't a joke. Literally, I came into work one day and he handed me the keys and he goes, right, boy, here you are. If you need anything, phone me. I'm off. And that was it. Wow. That was the last day he came in the office. No warning, nothing. Wow. Yeah.
We were like, oh my God. Okay.
I mean, I was kind of like, what do these do? Which one's which? Because even now, I still have Dad's keys in my bag, and it's 20 keys. There are maybe like 18. I'm kind of like, I don't know what these are. Yeah. And at this point, I'm too scared to ask. I think I just need to.
Yeah. That is a.
Yeah.
Baptism of fire.
Yeah, literally.
There you go. Off you go.
Yeah. In at the deep end is the way he's always been.
Yeah. Reminds me how we used to just employ people years ago and go, right, go on then. off you go sell.
Well, it's good
no
'cause-
induction, go.
Exactly. If he'd interviewed me, I don't think I'd have got it. So
No.
it's pretty fortunate, really. That's how we did it. But
Yeah.
it was a hell of a change.
That's
it really
a
was.
steep learning curve.
Yeah. But I think I'd say the first 3 or 4 years I probably went through, if I'd had like a decent induction to it and learning everything that I should learn, probably with the amount of stress I would have faced over the first 10, 15 years, probably had in the first 6 months, I reckon. But I'm at a point now where we've kind of come out the other side of it. I've been able to put a plan in place for the business and get it to a point now where I say, oh, look at me, I've put a plan in place. It's the team and I have put a plan in place to get to a point where actually, the future's looking bright for us, which is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself growing the business?
I've got no plan to.
No.
I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah.
It's for me the sort of the most important thing is to have a business which is sort of self-sustaining, profitable, but not to the point where that's your focus.
No.
It's a business. You need to make money at the end of the day to be able to put the money back into the business, right?
Yeah.
But to make sure that the business survives, hopefully as long as it's under my tenure.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the one that drives it into the ground after 150 years. But
It's quite a weight, isn't it?
yeah, of course it is.
That is a weight.
Yeah.
I never thought about it.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were the one that,
Oh, don't.
Yeah. That is pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I kind of just try to forget about it.
Yeah, I would.
But it's there. It's there every day. Like it doesn't leave you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just making sure that we got sort of meaningful employment for
You'd
people.
be like, come on, son.
Yeah,
Grow up."
exactly. Yes, I call him
18
my little
years.
retirement plan. That's what he is.
I made it.
What's that? You want to be an actor? No, you don't.
No.
Go and give it a go for a month. Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing, isn't it? I mean, both my children are involved in the business. Now, not for one moment did I ever think they would be.
Yeah.
And it was never any pressure. If anything, it was more the opposite.
Yeah.
Did you feel pressure?
No.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
So it was your...
I did, but only from myself.
From yourself.
I mean, Dad always sort of said, like, go and try other things.
Yes.
Go and do something else.
Yeah.
I think maybe secretly there was a part of him that wanted me to escape the fate that he had for 50 years of doing that job. Because it is a sort of a tie. It really is a tie.
Yes.
I mean, Mum would have loved to have moved away and lived somewhere else, but sort of the cost you have really for the business.
I think that's part of a family business.
Yeah.
You never properly, unless you sell and there's nobody else left involved, to leave. You know, even my parents, who they're not involved day to day, but still very interested.
Yeah, of course.
And still have opinions.
Oh no, mine don't.
No,
I'm quite fortunate about that. Yeah.
Oh no, Dad still has opinions.
No,
I mean I listen.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. No, my dad doesn't want to talk about it at all.
No.
No,
really?
I'll go with family dinner and talk about everyone else's work. You know, Hannah, how you getting on?
Yeah.
Hey, blah, blah, blah. Comes around to me, table goes quiet, move on to the next person.
Really?
Yeah.
Goodness me.
I think I get it. Dad's done it for 50 years. He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to do it anymore.
I get it. I get it. I think that to be able to do that is, and I guess really you need to be thinking, how do I do that eventually?
And I think in a way it's freed me up because I'm not spending every day of my work going, oh, would Dad approve of this? Or I should run this by Dad or, whatever. So it's quite liberating in a way, really.
Yeah. And I think probably it's more the opposite with me. It's still, the changes that we've made since, for me, it was 2014.
Sure.
And the business is very different today as it was when Dad was heading the business. And I think sometimes, especially when things aren't going right, oh, well, you should go back to doing it this way. And, I do sometimes feel that pressure. So I think that's good that you don't, and you have that freedom to do so.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate about that.
Yeah. What are the biggest changes you've made since taking over?
When I took over the business, I said, I'm not going to change anything.
No.
I'm not going to change anything.
No.
Business is working. I don't need to change anything.
Yeah.
We basically haven't stopped changing things. over the last couple of years. Just sort of the way it's gone, really. I think one thing that is really important to me is sustainability.
Yes.
I think our industry is really, really far behind the curve. You hear about green funerals every now and again, and sort of some little bits and pieces here, that funny stories of people being buried in mushroom suits and things like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't really.
It doesn't really change, and that's I'm now sort of somehow have found myself chairing a group for our trade body, which is for independent funeral directors, and is about basically driving the environmental change in our industry, which is kind of crazy to.
So what needs to happen? What makes it a sustainable funeral?
So the big question at the moment is proving it.
Yes.
There's a big thing that's happening at the moment in our industry, which is basically, it's called resomation. It's a water cremation. And everyone is saying that it's this new green technology to be water cremated and blah, 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 blah. My response to that is always going to be, where's the data? If you can show me the numbers that show me it's more sustainable and more environmentally friendly, I'm more than happy to believe it is. But at the moment in our industry, there's a lot of sort of greenwashing and sort of words that get thrown around a lot without any actual meaning behind it, which I'm not a huge fan of. So for me, it's about, little things we can do with our own business. Like, we're now able to arrange funerals basically paper free, start to finish, which is, I'm really happy about. It's really cool. All of our electric in sort of the 5 facilities that we have, offices, are 100% renewable. We've got an electric van called Evan, E-Van, that sort of does all of our direct cremations over to Wealden Crematorium. And really my sort of target is to be doing one of the first carbon neutral direct cremations in the UK. And we're not that far. We're pretty close.
Really?
We're pretty close.
Wow.
So I think it's a case of just proving that you can do it, and it's not. It's not.
Is that driven by? I was going to say the consumer, but your
no,
customers?
It is. We're really fortunate in this area that we've got a sort of a community that seem to take in sustainability seriously. Which is great. For sort of wanting to do that in a business, and I think it is definitely backed by. I mean, YouGov did a poll, I think it was last year before. I hate throwing quotes out there without having them behind me, but found that 62% of consumers are likely to consider a brand or product's environmental credentials before actually making the commitment to purchase it. 62% is quite a lot. Quite a lot.
Because I wouldn't say in our industry it's driven by our consumer.
Sure.
I guess our consumer are 50 plus. And it's, first of all, what's the comfort like? What's the price? Oh, and it's sustainable. It's a bonus at the moment. It's not the first thing.
No, of course.
It must be this. And it's been driven more by our industry than actually consumer-led. I mean, it is happening, and more of our suppliers are producing sustainable products, but I wouldn't say it's driven by our consumer at this present time, but I'd say more so. I'm getting more from, as we bring in younger team, they're the ones pushing that agenda. And
we find the same thing, as you sort of move, because it's not necessarily the older generation that, when you think of marketing in a funeral business, which you kind of can't do. But when you think about sort of the people that you're likely to be sitting opposite, it very rarely is it the older generation. Normally it's going to be their children. They might be 50s, that kind of thing.
That's probably
and so it sort of is now starting to become more of a thing.
So, and you just touched on marketing. You don't market at all. No. How do people find who they're going to use?
I mean, most people have used us before.
Right, so it's loyalty.
We get a lot of, I'm not going to use the phrase repeat business, but we get a lot of people who sort of go, oh, you looked after granddad, mum, whoever, that come back to us, which is, it's a lovely feeling when someone does that. To know that you did a good job and that they're sort of held on to you. And it seems to be the kind of thing where in families you're sort of, oh, we're a Towners family, we always go to Towners, we use Towners, that kind of thing. But I mean, I make it a point of trying to support sort of some local initiatives as much as I can.
Yeah.
Both in like environmental stuff, but also the arts, which is really important to me.
Yeah.
Just to be able to sort of, we've only existed for 151 years because the community have trusted us for 151 years
Yes.
to look after their loved ones.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's really important to give back to the community. And we're in such an incredible town or area, to see that Hastings hopefully is on the shortlist for the UK's first town of culture was really, really cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Which would be amazing to win.
Yes.
Things like Pirate Day and Jack in the Green. And so for me, it's about making sure that those sorts of things can continue to happen.
Yes.
So we sponsor Pirate Day every year, which is a bit tongue-in-cheek. I tried to speak to the guy about 5 years ago, and it took him about 2 or 3 years to come back to me about it, because the whole time he was going, I'm not sure about this. And we the first year we tried it, Anton is the chap, and we were talking about a tagline for it.
Yeah.
We were thinking, what do we do?
Yeah.
How far do we push the boat out here? So I don't know, if anyone sort of listening to this has seen the advert and enjoys it, amazing.
Yeah.
But it basically says Arthur C. Towner Limited, looking after your bones since 1875. And we put it out the first year, and I was sat there going, oh no, this is not going to end well. And we haven't had a single piece of negative feedback about it at all. People have loved it.
Yeah.
And that, I think, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's embracing what it is to be a sort of local in our area.
Yeah.
And that's what's really important to me. And that's just going back to the question about expansion and everything.
Yeah.
I think if we get any bigger, we lose that kind of local community feel.
It is a
we
risk,
start to get a bit more corporate.
Yeah. I think
And I
that
don't
would have
want
been
that.
my question.
Yeah,
actually.
I don't
How
want
do you
that.
keep that?
I don't think we could.
It's a challenge for us as we grow.
Yeah.
We go into new counties, and
Yeah, of course.
and it's a challenge to keep that family community. And as I've already touched on, it can be thrown, or it's not as family as it used to be, and all that sort of thing. And yet, really, our values, which you saw on our wall, they are values really that come from the original founding. That was Dad's principles. Now, he didn't have them on the wall, but they are really what he started and created. Yeah. I wouldn't say they've changed much since founding the business. And
Great.
And I think we've carried on. Yeah, we've made changes, as you say, and I think you have to.
You do.
You do. Things change. Very much more data-led today than there was no data. I mean, if I look back when I first started, I don't even know if Dad knew how much was being done day to day, week to week. It would have been, that was a good day, but really had no. But whereas today it's so data. Is data used in your business?
To some extent.
Yeah.
Not hugely. I mean, we have sort of management accounts that we look at. We have what we call death statistics, which is like how many we've done at various crematoria, things like that, just to be able to keep an eye on things like our market share and things like that, which are, helpful, but shouldn't be what makes your decisions, I don't think. I think it's really easy if you're just following the numbers to ignore a lot, especially in our industry, of what you do.
You've got to be so careful, haven't you?
Exactly. And I think if you start there, I could sit and look at a piece of paper which could tell me that we need to stop offering an out of hours service, for example.
Yeah.
If someone dies during the night, bring them into our care at night. Well, as an employer, that costs me quite a lot of money.
Yes.
But at the same time, morally, that's a really important service.
Yes, absolutely.
So I would never dream of taking that away.
No.
But if the data sort of sat there going, no, you probably should.
That's the danger, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Data. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you think in a retail business, we look at average order values. I mean, how can you do that with that must be really challenging. How do we up the, because these people are coming to you at desperate times. Yeah. And you'd feel as though you're, pushing something that.
Yeah, that's the thing, pushing something. So we don't sell.
Yeah.
We don't sell at all.
No.
There's some places you go to, why are you only spending that much on a coffin? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
My ethos is exactly the same as Dad's when it comes to a sort of a coffin choice, which is ultimately this is an item that you're only going to use once.
Yeah.
So you don't need to spend a load of money on it.
No.
They're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
We're actually working really hard at the moment on pioneering a really, really low cost an environmentally friendly option for things like direct cremations.
Yes.
Just to sort of give people more choice, lower cost options, things like that. Because it's really important. And the way we run is that we will do whatever a family asks us to do, providing it's legal.
Yeah.
And if we don't have a set price for it, we
Yeah.
will find a price for you,
Yeah.
and we'll let you know how much that will be, kind of thing. We don't sell, we don't have preferred ways of doing things. It's pretty much tell us what you want to do and we'll do it, no matter how crazy it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you see are the biggest risks going forward for your business?
I think direct cremation is one.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a buzzword in our industry at the moment, and it's, if you watch TV at any point at the moment, you'd have seen various adverts for companies and things like that, and I have to be very careful what I say so I don't get in trouble, because there are cease and desist letters going out to people at the moment, so I'll be careful. But direct cremation as a principle, I'm quite a rarity in the industry, especially for an independent funeral director, in the sense that I don't necessarily completely disagree with it.
No. So what's the difference?
So a lot of funeral directors at the moment are terrified of it.
Yeah.
They think, how are we going to survive? So direct cremation is basically the lowest cost option you can. There's no service, there's no one attending, nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's basically the funeral director arranges to take the deceased to a crematorium. There'd be no one there. The sort of committal cremation happens and the ashes are brought back to the family.
Yes.
It's kind of the point of direct cremation.
Yeah.
So it's super low cost, things like that. I see it as an opportunity for families to organise their own event to remember their loved one.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a favourite spot in the woods that they like going for picnics. Well, do that. That's the funeral. Funeral doesn't need to be, we sat in a church, we sat in a chapel somewhere at a crematorium. Doesn't need to be that. Be creative, sort of change your mind about things, think about them. How do you make it unique and personal to them?
Yeah.
So that, for me, is sort of why it's an opportunity rather than something to be scared of. But
it's very forward thinking, though, isn't it? Yeah, what you're doing there. If you think some of the biggest, if understanding what business you are actually in, which is celebrating someone's life.
Yeah.
It's not really about being the box, the cars.
Yeah, sure.
It's celebrated, isn't it?
It is,
And
it is.
that's just changing the dynamics of what happens.
Yeah.
As long as you're moving along with that, then it's not a threat, is it?
No, I mean, we have two base functions as funeral directors as a business. One is exactly as you say, which is to celebrate the life of someone that's died.
Yes.
The other is to facilitate and allow those that person has left behind to begin their grieving journey.
Yeah.
Without an additional hiccup. That's really the two base functions that we serve.
Yes.
And it's a hell of a responsibility, because grief's a hell of a thing.
Yes.
And anything we can do to make it easier for people is kind of what we do.
Yes.
So
yeah.
And on talking about direct cremations and grief, there's a load of research coming out at the moment about whether or not, because you sort of see elderly people will take out a direct cremation plan for themselves and maybe not tell their loved ones, not tell their kids or anything like that, because they don't want to make a fuss. Fair enough, don't make a fuss.
Yeah.
But actually, one of the questions that's being asked at the moment is, if that happens and the family members don't know about it, is it robbing them of their opportunity to grieve and say goodbye?
Yeah.
Which is a question that's being asked. I don't have the answer. I think everyone is different. I think grief is different for everyone. And I think people grieve in different ways. And I was so glad to have the opportunity to come and talk to you today, because I don't think we talk enough about death.
No.
And I think, for years, you heard about people being ripped off by funeral directors. And I think it's because we're not prepared to talk about it. We're not prepared, you'll go to one down the road that's been there for years when actually you don't know it's been bought over by a sort of a corporate operation.
Yep.
Being charged $1,500 more if you're 2 miles down the road, kind of thing. It's awful.
Yeah.
So, one of the funeral planning companies we work with did some research a few years ago, and they said 72% of people don't know if their loved one would want to be buried or cremated.
Really?
72% of people.
Wow.
Do you?
Because you don't talk about it.
Because you don't talk about it.
No, you don't.
And actually, the amount of times we sit down with families, and the major source of worry for them is about getting it right for their loved one that's died.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we just we're not having a morbid conversation. We're not saying,
No.
"Oh, what do you want to have happen when you die?"
Yeah.
But it can actually be quite a nice, light-hearted conversation.
Yeah.
My parents-in-law sort of had that. Not one of the first times I met them,
Yeah.
but my wife Lucy sort of said at some point what I did, and at a dinner table we had this lovely conversation where they had never spoken about it,
No.
and we just organically started talking about it. And my father-in-law said that he wanted to be cremated, I think, which is funny because he's a firefighter. And my mother-in-law kind of went, "Do you?" "Oh, I've sworn you would want to be buried. And it's that really lovely moment where you don't have to approach it from a point of fear or a point of worry. It's about knowing that when the time comes, you can, do what's right for the person that's died, but also remember them in the way that's right for you. I mean, a funeral, it's to honour the person that's died, but really a funeral is for the people that have been left behind.
Yeah.
To remember their loved one the best way that they can.
Absolutely.
And I think...
So why do we not talk about death enough? What is it?
Well, I do.
Stop.
I talk about it every day. I mean,
Why generally though? Do we? Not?
I think so.
What do you think is
so in Western culture, we take the longest in the world to sort of bury our dead and deal with our dead.
Yeah.
For me, any of my team will tell you how annoyed I get at my own business when I hear people say things like "passed away" and things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's just very woolly language.
Yeah.
It's not disrespectful. For me, they've died.
Yes, they have.
And kind of part of working with a funeral director is about coming to terms with that.
Yeah.
Because you've got to grieve this person. At the end of the day, you have to rebuild your life.
Yeah.
We could be dealing with people at the worst point of their lives. And I personally think, yes, you care for people, but we don't need to be kind of hiding the facts, what's happened. No. I think we're kind of impeding someone's grief if we do that. Yeah. I think it's a cultural thing. I mean, we're fortunate enough to look after all of the Muslim funerals in Hastings, which is such an incredible experience to watch.
Is that very different?
Oh, it's so community involved. If there's a gentleman that dies, then all the men from the Muslim community will come in and wash them together, which is incredible. And it's vice versa with women. And to see it being such an integral part of their community is amazing. Mm. And it sort of sits there and you think, maybe people will come and see their loved one when they've died in our chapel arrest. Yeah. But some people won't, which I completely understand. I don't think I would want to personally. No. But we care for people all our lives, and especially if someone's been unwell and has been really unwell for quite a while and you've been caring for them. It's just strange that we stop when someone dies. Yeah. It kind of never really made sense to me. But in terms of why we don't talk about it, couldn't answer that question.
No, I think it's cultural.
And I think it's a 50-50. I've had people in my life. I remember a conversation with a friend of mine at drama school, who I think the first time we started talking about what I did prior to coming to drama school, he kind of went, "Oh, so what do you do?" I said, "Oh, actually, I'm an undertaker." And he went, "Cool." And that was the last time we ever spoke about it in 7 years. And it's 50-50. People will either go, "Great," and that's it. Yeah. Or they will have so many questions. Yeah. Oh, is it always your loved one's ashes you get back? Or is it only one person's ashes? Or what happens with hip replacements and stuff? Yeah. I think there are people that are interested, and there are those that aren't.
Well, now you've just said that, I am.
See, right? We'll have to do a follow-up. Exactly.
Oh, that's absolutely fascinating, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's brilliant. Anything to add? Any questions? We do have some quick-fire questions. Are you ready for some quick-fire questions?
I'll try my best,
Yeah. I could go on for hours.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just glued.
I think my wife gets so bored of me talking about this kind of thing that actually having people that are interested is quite novel for me. So I'm sat here this is really fun.
Okay. Quick-fire question number one. Are we ready? Okay. A moment in your career you'll never forget.
I'm going to tell this story. There's one that I always quote, which is about a Rocky Horror Picture Show, themed funeral. And one of my friends at the time turned up, full suspenders, stockings, everything, high heels. It was amazing. Yeah. Not going to tell that story. No. The one thing I will never forget is when I was younger, about 17, 18, I was an operative. It was a graveside burial service. Yeah. And there's a really lovely serene moment where as the coffin is gently lowered into the grave, the bearers will sort of bow to the coffin before turning to then walk away. Except on this occasion, when we're standing at the side of the grave and the four of us bow, there's a thunk the four of us stand back up, and I look opposite to see one of my colleagues' face, which is just white.
Right.
What's happened? What's happened? So we walk away, and I walk over to my colleague and I go, should we sort of load the hearse up and get ready to go? And he goes, I can't. Why not?
What?
Hearse key fell out of my pocket on top of the coffin.
Oh no.
Looking back at it now, it is very funny. But at the time, it was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awful. Luckily, the family found it hilarious, which is fortunate.
Yeah.
You know, bless them. They were so good about it. But, it was...
My goodness.
In that moment, you were like, oh.
Oh, it's awful. Should I just get in now? Should I just get in with them? Because this is not going to get better. This is awful.
Yeah, I can see why that...
Yeah. I'm never gonna forget that.
Okay, question number 2. What's the most rewarding part of what you do?
In terms of what I do,
Yeah.
it's seeing one of the team overcome a personal challenge at work.
Yeah.
It would be really easy to say things like, families coming in to say thank you and things, which obviously means so, it does mean a lot.
Yeah.
But because I'm not necessarily directly involved day to day, for me, it's if I'm sort of working close and seeing development in one of the team.
Yeah.
We've got a really young team at the moment, quite an experienced team, which is really exciting to sort of be able to build the team and learn to work together and move forward. And so that, for me, it's so rewarding, sort of putting all this work in and this stuff that Dad has spent years rabbiting on in my ear about, and that actually I'll sit there and I'll give someone an answer to a question and I'll go, oh, maybe that did stick. Yeah, I sound just like Dad. I hope that's a good thing. And so it's seeing people grow and develop in their roles. I love it.
By the sound of it, you have high retainment of team. If you're 35 years.
Well, we have now.
Yeah.
It's gone through a period of quite high turnover.
Really?
But I think it always will do.
Yeah.
I think when you take over a business, there'll be people that leave, finding your feet. Yeah. And I think now we're at a point where, we've got a really great team. I really don't want to lose any of them.
No.
So
what a great position.
Yeah, I know. I'm
absolutely.
very fortunate.
Question number 3.
Yep.
Rugby league or rugby union?
Union.
Well, that was quick. That was quick. Yeah.
Very easy, yeah.
Yeah. So you enjoyed the weekend?
Oh, very much so. Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Less said about that, the better, I think. But it was a very good weekend of rugby, Steve. Thank you. Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
Did you play? You play.
I did play.
Yeah.
I did play quite a lot.
Yeah.
But my health when I was younger kind of got in the way at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Miss it a lot.
Cool. There we go. Rugby union. There it is. Yeah. I think that's... Is there rugby league down this way?
I think it is a southern thing.
It is, yeah.
It tends to be rugby league north of London.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everything for us is north, isn't it?
Exactly. Everything above London is the north.
I drove up to Leeds yesterday, and as soon as you're past Battle, it's north. Yeah.
Exactly. You're on the A21. This is where the wildlands are. Here be dragons kind of thing. It's...
Okay, question number 4. Best piece of advice you've been given?
I think it's a piece of advice Dad gave me relatively recently, which was quite simply, if you think something's a good idea, and the only thing that's stopping you is having the guts to actually do it, it's probably a good idea.
Wow. I think we need to keep that for the tip of the week. Tip of the week. I was down there as well. I think tip of that.
This stood me in really good stead recently.
Yeah.
Trying to make decisions of, do we do this? Do we do that? Do we spend this money here? Do we, do we not?
Yes.
Like the Pirate Day tagline, the marketing. I was sat there going, I'm sure this is going to work.
Yeah.
It might not, but I'm sure this is going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just went, you know what? No, this is going to work. I just need to do it.
Yeah.
Did it, and it's worked. So.
Wow. Brilliant. Love it. Okay, a 5th and final question.
Okay.
Are you ready for this one? If you weren't in this industry, your industry, what would you be doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? No.
No.
You enjoy what you do.
I do, and I think I spent so long getting away from it, or trying to get away from it, that now I'm in it, I kind of can't see myself doing anything else now.
No. Wow. Enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's a bit of a wet answer, really. I'm sorry.
No,
but it's,
no, I don't think it is. I think
I don't think I'd go back to acting.
No.
I might try and go back into coaching, maybe.
Yeah.
Something sporty, get me out of the house. But apart from that,
yeah, enjoy what you do. How many people in that the ultimate goal to enjoy what you do?
I never thought I would say that ever.
No,
ever.
No, yeah, your dad will be proud.
Hope so. Hope so.
It'd be.
I'm not going to tell him I've done this.
No. What?
I'm joking. Of course I will.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's the end of our podcast. Yeah, but that's the end of our podcast for this week.
Okay.
Yeah, have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh, it's been great. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it's been lovely.
I think we do need a second instalment. What happens to the hip replacements? I
don't know.
We won't know.
I'm all for it, but maybe wait until it comes out, because you might get 50% of people going, no, please don't have him back. My God, he's insufferable.
We'll do a poll. Do you want Ollie back?
Yeah.
If yes, why are you lying?
All right. Okay. So next week we are joined by Richard Cripps, who was actually, we've worked with him for many years, a solicitor. We've got a solicitor coming in, and I've known him for many years. Used to be the MD, managing director, managing partner of Rix & K, until they got acquired last year by Knights. Knight Solicitors, so he's a partner for Knights, and I think it's going to be really interesting, because I think we put these people on a pedestal, these clever people, but actually when you get to really speak to them and know them, they are going through the same pains.
Yeah.
They are technicians, really solicitors, running businesses, and have the same challenges as everybody else. And I discovered that a few years ago when doing a Vistage meeting with Richard, and it was quite refreshing, really. And accountants, solicitors, they go through the same pains as the rest of us. So we're going to be speaking to Richard. So he's coming on next week. So that's a wrap for this week. New episodes drop every single Wednesday, so don't forget to tune in. And if you want more unfiltered business talk, you can find us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn at An Unorthodox CEO. So that's it. Thank you for listening, everybody. If you're waking up, good morning, and welcome to our podcast. If you are trekking through the Himalayas, you're probably not listening to us.
Why would you be? What if you're in the Himalayas? Come on, honestly.
But if you are, then good luck. And if you're tucking yourself into your Sussex bed, then good night. Thank you for listening, and see you next week. Bye bye now.